our guest speaker every Tuesday this month, who I'm excited about. Let me give it a little insight for those that don't know. She's a traditional business owner. She's a mom. She's a wife to a handsome guy named Mr. Brad, my dear buddy. She volunteers in her community. She serves on the Chamber of Commerce. She's on the board of directors. She also takes care of her dad now. She's a regional vice president in 3.5 years. Dear friend, love her to death. She's a little piece of leather, but she's well put together, and she's feisty, and I just love her trainings. Can we give a warm welcome to none of the regional vice president, Ms. Keri Roeder?
Good morning, good morning. So, Mr. Thomas, Brad came in the office while you were talking, and he snuck around and he kind of peeked around, and Kathy saw his shirt. So he was listening. I said, either get on or get off. Like, you don't get to be a creeper. So he says, good morning. This morning he's out there making his breakfast, little creeper. You know, as Mr. Thomas says, you have to have fun doing this. Like, otherwise, what's the point? You know, Tony Kupit says the same thing. It's like, if we can't have fun doing this, why are we doing this, right? So as you all know, Mr. Thomas is mine and Brad's one of our favoriteest people in not just in ACN, but in our entire lives altogether. And many of you have heard the story. I'll tell it another time for you new people, but the level of respect that we have for Mr. Thomas, which has turned into friendship and love and family, is just, there are no words to describe our gratitude for everything he does for us, not just professionally in ACN, but for us as persons, as being a good parent, as being a good couple, being a good friend, and everything that we want to encompass as people. That is the role model that Mr. Thomas leads for us, and reminding us every step of the way that life is designed to be fun. And I cannot thank you enough, Mr. Thomas, for your leadership, your love, your example of just being a stellar, godly human. And we appreciate you very, very much. And for those of you on this call, please, you've heard me say this multiple times. Don't take him for granted. Matter of fact, use him as a tool. And as I was listening to you, hello, all the Japanese people, 1 a.m. I'm so proud of you for all doing this. That's crazy. You guys, here's what I was thinking, and I wrote it down. Right now is the holiday season, right? So we're out and about, probably a little more than we normally are. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay more attention to people in my community who are of the Japanese descent, and I'm going to recruit them, because I know Mr. Thomas is going to allow us to plug into everything he has going on. And why not be international in that capacity? I live in a really rural community. I have to drive an hour to get to what Mr. Thomas calls Sakatomato. But some of you live in bigger cities and you have a bigger population of people. So just pay attention as you hear leaders having success in different areas of the world, and recruit and plug them into those environments. And I love what Mr. Jamar said. Success is a decision. I also just wrote that down. That's why I was looking down. Success is a decision, and it really is. And I know we're going into the holiday season. And last week when I was sitting in our rental truck on our spur of the moment, let's add more time to our vacation, I talked about how this is the holiday season and how can we continue to build our business throughout the holiday season. I'm going to tell you right now, if you owned a retail business, this is your busiest time of the year. This is when you make the most money owning a retail business. You are literally working 7 days a week, 12-hour days, because your doors are open so that you can have as many customers come in. You can make as much money to close out your year, because it tends to get quiet in the months of January and February in the retail season. Now, for us, it's weird. We tend to hunker down and slow down in the months of November and December, hoping to have a big January and February when people have made their financial goals. I want to talk to you today about how can you stand out. I'm going to continue my conversation that I had last week about giving away customer gifts. And I know some of you are like, oh, I don't have the money, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's why I'm in this office today. I have in front of me the breakdown of my gifts to show you how you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to brand yourself, in order to stand out. Okay, so I have a couple different gifts here. So my first gift is this one. Okay, you can see I have a little cloth tag. It says thankful. On the back, I wrote love the Roeders and the year, so they know what year I gave this. I have these little metal flowers, right? And then I did a gift wrap, and in here is a picture of my family and all the stuff. Now, looks expensive. It looks great, okay, but it wasn't expensive. So let me start with this. I went to the dollar store. I love the dollar store. I went to the dollar store and I got these. It's 2 of these gift wrap bags. 2 come in one, $1.25. That's 75 cents or whatever it breaks down to, right? Each bag, okay? Then I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought a bag of these cloth tabs. And the one says, some say blessed, some say grateful, some say thankful. So I have some for future years. Okay, those. Also at Hobby Lobby is where I bought the flowers. Okay, they're metal flowers, and they were like, I think they were like $3 each, but if you time it right, they're half off. Okay, so you don't have to do 3. I'm going to show you another one where you don't have to do 3. I bought a big string. They're called the leaves that you put on mantles and stuff, whatever that's called. Because I have them on my mantle, and I cut them and I put them in the box as a filler. Okay, I bought these cute little dudes. My brain's not working again. It's 9 a.m. is pretty early to be thinking. Japanese people are like, it's 1 a.m. here. Anyway, I bought these little cute little guys to put in the box, and then I went and I bought different kinds of goodies. Okay, so let me show you the goodies. Aussie Bites. It was a bag of, how many came in here? A bag of 20. I got at Grocery Outlet for $10, you guys. So it's like 50 cents each. Then at Grocery Outlet, I bought a box of all of these, okay? And I just put in however many you want, however many you can afford, okay? But you don't, in order for it to look good, it doesn't have to be expensive. Tell you, this is the most expensive thing I did. Look at my beautiful family. Well, don't look at her. Look at my beautiful family. This is our daughter on our daughter's 19th birthday. We drove down to Santa Barbara, where she's living now, at her beach house. And wow, hanging out with college kids at 50. Whew. Anyway, so here's what I did though. When I had it printed at CVS, I wrote Kenzie's 19th birthday. Okay, so they know that this is, because again, my tag says love the Roeders 2023. This is Kenzie's 19th birthday. Oh, I should have dug them up. I have all my other ones. Each year I do this and I write. Last year was I forget what I put last year, but I always make it about my daughter, okay? Because emotionally, we retain our customers. The previous year, I did a whole page thing, and it was her graduation. It was her senior ball. Like, I did a whole thing on that one. But then on the back, I personalized. This is going to be hard to read. I personalized them. So this is to my Uncle Mike, okay, but I call him Uncle, and his girlfriend, and I personalized it. I said, Uncle and Tink with the little heart. Because of your, underline, continued support, Beach House in Santa Barbara, and then I wrote, lucky girl, smiley face. We love you, love Greg, Keri, and Mac, okay? So I put it in there, as you saw, and then I wrapped it up, and it didn't end up being, I mean, I don't even know, like $10 or so a person? Like, how many customers do you actually have that you can't afford $10? Oh, by the way, tax write-off. All of us are looking for more tax write-offs, right? Tax write-off. So now this is for my current customers. Now I have a girlfriend who is like 8 or 9. I talk about her a lot. She's my mortgage person. She's like 8 or 9 customers. So she gets a little bit more in hers, but otherwise I just kind of keep them all the same. Each year I do them. And then that's for my current customers. Now, another trick, you want to stand out. You're branding yourself. You want to stand out, which is why I do it during Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving, right? Thanks. This is when we're giving thanks instead of just during the holiday season, like we talked about last week. And Mr. Thomas pointed out, you do it during December and you're just blended in. You're like, oh, thanks for the candy. Oh, I don't want to eat the candy. Same. Now, here's what else I do to stand out. When I go places that I want to be remembered, I give these little goodie bags. Okay. Now again, that flour, $1.50 or whatever, couple pieces of Aussie things, couple pieces of candy. These bags I also bought at Hobby Lobby. I love Hobby Lobby and the dollar store for these things, you guys. Okay. So Hobby Lobby. And I keep these with me. And when I go places, mostly with my dad for all his medical stuff, but when I go places and places I know and I want to stand out in the month of November, I say, hey, you know what? Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Da, da, da. Oh my gosh, they light up. They absolutely light up. And guess what? They remember this face. They might not remember why they remember the face, but they light up and they remember the face. And then when I can follow through after creating that relationship with that place of business or that person, I can ask them to consider letting me evaluate their services to see if we can find value for them. And the reason they're going to say yes is because for some reason they remember me. For some reason, there's an emotional attachment to me and to them. Now, my family picture's not in here. That's weird. Okay. But for some reason, there is an emotional attachment. So they're more likely to say, yeah, absolutely. And when we give them the value of all the services we can offer and the savings we can have, they're more likely to say yes. And then next Thanksgiving, they get the big baskets. This is how we retain. I don't know about you guys. I've been doing this for over 13 years. I don't want to go get more customers to replace other customers. The work I did 13 years ago, I love the fact that most all of my customers are still my customers. Somebody died, that can't be helped, okay? But most everybody from 2010 is still my customer today. Why? Because I hand them a gift and I say, thank you so much. And we talked about this in last week's call. If they own a business, I take a picture with everybody and I post them individually. If they own a business, I market their business. I market their business in my post, but psychologically what it's doing, it's telling my customer base, and because I tag them, it's telling their customer base they're also my customer. We're doing mutual business together, but my level of gratitude is to physically show them thank you, okay? Now, a little bit more on standing out. Now, I get it that some of you are shy, and I get it that we're all busy. But one of the ways to market your business is through attending events that are business oriented. So Chamber of Commerce, different like BNI. I belong to a women in networking group. So if you don't want to be a part of like a BNI referral group, you could be creative and you could start your own. I belong to a women only. It's women in networking. It's only one woman per industry. Okay. And we are each other's go-to referral group. Okay. We meet twice a month. It's actually where a lot of my biggest accounts have come from because they're business owners. And I've been sustaining that. And here's why. Here's my other little trick. When you go to different networking groups, you want to stand out. Choose a referral group that gives you the 30-second or 1-minute commercial about yourself. And here's where you want to stand out. Number one, you want to know what you're going to say in advance. Don't stumble and fumble and sound all like you. No, you need to know what you're right. You like that, Mr. Thomas? You need to know what you're going to say, okay? And because most people stand up and go, oh, I'm, Sarah Jones, and I'm part of blah, blah, blah. Well, no. So here's what I do. I get Mr. Thomas energy, right? And I stand up, I'm like, I'm super excited to be here today. And what I do, each month, we meet twice a month. So each month, my little baggie, I didn't bring them. My little baggie that I usually buy at the dollar store, and you can buy a sleeve of 20 of clear, I do clear usually. You could do clear baggies. There's different sizes. You get smaller ones, a package of 40. So it depends on the month. Like Halloween, I did Halloween, right? Beginning of October is my daughter's birthday, so I always put like a little birthday kazoo or whatever in there. July, I do 4th of July, whatever the month is. I do a little trinket that represents that month because, again, I want to stand out. And what I do is I put my business card in there, and then I put a couple pieces of mints and a piece of candy. Now, what I do is I stand up, and as I'm handing them out, I say, okay, this is the month of, or this is, Halloween, right? So there's a creepy spider in there. Don't eat it. Ha, 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 right? And everybody laughs. And so then I go around, and then I say, I'm Keri Roeder, da, da, da. And I say my speech, and I have it in advance. So I know I'm not over my time as I go around, and I hand everybody their baggie of candy. Well, guess what? They now expect Keri's baggie of candy. Their husbands can't wait to see what candy Keri gave out this week. So again, doesn't need to be expensive. You can go get these little Starlight candies at the dollar store, a pack of them. I only put 2 in. I'm not like overly yay, right? And the dollar store, I buy a sleeve of 6 pieces of like candy. So it's usually like Reese's, or my favorite are Twix, Snickers, whatever. And they get 1 big candy and 2 pieces of mints and my business card and whatever trinket for the month. This month is Thanksgiving. So I used my Hobby Lobby, my Hobby Lobby bags that I bought. And I bought these random flower things at Hobby Lobby for like, I don't know, 60, 40 for $1 or $4 or whatever it was. It wasn't much. It's a piece of paper. Okay. They throw it away. So who cares? Don't spend a lot of money. You can get these at the dollar store. Okay. But it's not about what it is. It's about the fact that each time they see you, you're giving them something. This doesn't even cost $1, you guys. It doesn't even cost $1. So if you have to make 20, or if you have to make 40, or whatever it is you have to make, okay, again, tax write-off. We're all looking for more tax write-offs. More importantly, you're branding yourself. How are you branding yourself? It is all about branding. If I go like this, whoosh. Okay, everybody look up. Ready? Whoosh. You all know who that is, okay? Or if I were standing and I was like, and I had basketball and I was like that, right? With my big lean body. Y'all know who that is. It's all about branding. How are you going to brand yourself? The other last minute thought on your business cards. Do you have your picture on there? Do you have your picture on there? I happen to have all 3 of us on here. Here's why. My daughter's now 19. She has her own position. So we're putting everything under her position. Okay. Where's it at? Okay. But do you have a picture on there? Wouldn't you agree? This is personal. So when they pull this out, they're not just seeing a face, right? They're not just seeing a big picture of Keri. They're seeing a family. They're seeing a reason. They're seeing people that they support. And if they're your friends and your family, they're seeing people that they love. And when it comes to customer retention, which was my conversation today, when it comes to customer retention, give them a reason to continue to support you. Don't just sign them up and forget about them, and they forget about you. And then somebody comes along and, I used to do this when we did live trainings. Those balloon things where they go like, right, to sell crap. Yeah, that's how you're gonna lose them. You're gonna lose them on some gimmick of sales if you don't create value, if you don't create a reason, if you don't give them a reminder as to who it is they're supporting and why it is they're supporting you. And when you show gratitude, when you show genuine gratitude, and you can update them on how it is their help has supported you, you guys, even if you're only making enough to pay your utilities every month, aren't you grateful? Isn't that a reason? If you have children and you can pay your utilities, isn't that great? Like, that's amazing. If you're single and you can pay your utilities, and it gives you more time that you can spend with the people that you love, isn't that great? Whatever your reason of gratitude is, let them know that. Exploit your reason of gratitude. This is my reason of gratitude. This beautiful girl right here and that handsome man. And oh my gosh, here go the tears. You guys, they have no time together. None, zero zip. She didn't know how to ride a bike at age 5 because he refused to let somebody else teach her. He wanted to teach her. So 13 and a half years later, you can still feel my emotion and my gratitude. And you know what? So can my customers. Even the customers that I acquired in 2000, what are we? 23, right? I tell them the story. Thank you. Because here's who you're helping. Here is, and yes, she lives in the beach house and all that crap and all that's fun. But it's not about that. It's about the idea that you're not helping a monopoly. You're helping a family. And when you help a family, that really, really resonates, and it helps you with customer retention. Because like I said in the beginning, I'm building a bigger customer base because now we have 3 positions, but I'm building a bigger customer base, and I don't want to have to repeat work that I don't need to repeat if I can remind them as to why they are our customer. So that's what I have for today, Mr. Thomas. I'm so grateful for every opportunity you give me to speak to anybody that on your team, because all I'm trying to do is forward the wisdom that I've been able to glean from you, from Mrs. Renata, from all the other leaders in these 13 and a half years that I've been doing this. So I hope it helps. I hope you show your gratitude to your customer base, and that you were able to retain the customers and build new ones and build your residual income so we can all live the Mr. Al Thomas lifestyle. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Mr. Thomas.